Real cases that inspired horror movies. Reality darker than fiction. When we watch a horror movie, we find some comfort in knowing it's all fiction. But what happens when those stories on screen are based on real events? Brutal crimes, unexplained apparitions, and macabre happenings that left their mark on history and served as inspiration for some of the scariest films ever made. The film industry loves to feed on reality. Many writers and directors dive into police files and paranormal accounts to craft their narratives. The result is works that terrify not only for their violence or supernatural content, but because they actually happened. In this video, we'll explore real cases that crossed the line of the imaginable and became legends on the big screen. Prepare to discover cruel crimes, haunted houses, and characters that truly existed. Stories so disturbing that fiction alone could never conceive them. Turn on the lights and follow along, because reality can be far more terrifying than any movie. The Ed Gein Massacre, the real-life psychopath behind horror icons. Ed Gein was a quiet, rural farmer in 1950s America.
Outwardly, an ordinary man.
Inwardly, a deranged psychopath whose crimes surpassed the limits of insanity. When police entered his home, they found furniture and utensils made from human skin, skulls turned into bowls, and even masks crafted from the flesh of his victims. Gein murdered at least 2 women, but the true horror lay in what he did with the bodies. He exhumed corpses and used parts of them to fashion objects and clothing, in a twisted attempt to recreate the figure of his deceased, domineering mother. This gruesome case inspired some of cinema's most famous horror villains, such as Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Norman Bates in Psycho, and Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. Each character inherited traits from Gein's diseased mind, mother worship, extreme violence, and a morbid fascination with human skin. Ed Gein remains proof that sometimes, reality surpasses even the darkest fiction. A name forever etched into America's macabre folklore. The Perron family and the haunted house behind The Conjuring. Before becoming a box office success, The Conjuring was born from a real story involving the Perron family. In 1971, Roger and Carolyn Perron moved with their 5 daughters into an old farmhouse in Rhode Island, USA. What seemed like a dream home quickly turned into a nightmare. Paranormal events began, doors closing by themselves, objects flying through the air, and strange whispers echoing at night. But the worst was yet to come. A malevolent spirit, identified as Bathsheba Sherman, a supposed 19th century witch, began tormenting the family, attempting to possess Carolyn and terrorize the children. Desperate, the Perrons called upon famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who confirmed the presence of demonic activity. The terrifying seances and exorcisms that followed formed the basis for the film's screenplay. The Perron case remains one of America's most chilling supernatural accounts. According to those involved, the phenomena persisted even after the family left the house, a grim reminder that some hauntings don't end when the movie credits roll. Annabelle, the cursed doll that exists. Forget Annabelle's porcelain appearance from the movies. In real life, she's a simple raggedy and cloth doll. But her story is far darker than any film adaptation could capture. In the 1970s, the doll was given to a young nursing student named Donna. Soon, strange occurrences began in the apartment she shared with a friend. The doll would move on its own, handwritten notes would appear, and mysterious marks showed up on the walls. Frightened, the women sought help from Ed and Lorraine Warren, who determined that the doll was possessed by a demonic entity. Initially pretending to be the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle, the malevolent force was attempting to manipulate the women and gain permission to possess them. The Warrens performed a ritual and took the doll to their occult museum, where it remains to this day, sealed in a glass case and blessed regularly. Legend has it that those who mocked or touched Annabelle suffered tragic, often fatal, accidents. The real Annabelle proves that sometimes evil hides in the most innocent forms.